Welcome to Randolph High School as the Randolph Rams baseball team takes on the Ridge Red Devils. I'm Shane Connuck alongside Coach Nahan. Starting for the Rams today, number 19 on the mound is senior Ryan Manzi. Red Devils coming into this game with a 2-1 record, with wins over 7-0 victory over Franklin, a 2-0 loss to Hillsborough, and a 1-0 victory over the Mendham Minutemen on Saturday. Randolph finds themselves 0-2. They had losses. They had a loss 6-3 to Montville on opening day here at home, and then a crushing 5-4 loss after Pope John walked off. However, Randolph did come back. They were down 4-0, came back, but unfortunately ended up losing on the walk-off. But the game against Morristown on Friday was canceled, and they're ready here to take on Ridge.
Beautiful game, beautiful day for a game today, Shane. I think this is our inaugural calling of a game this season for the spring.
Yeah. 74 degrees at game time here in Randolph. Manzi's first pitch is going to be swung on, hit to the shortstop Ippolito over to first. Get the out. One pitch, one out for Ryan Manzi. That was Chris Parker for Ridge, their leadoff hitting second baseman. 4 for 10 on the year. Brendan Bell comes up second. He's number 28, playing third.
One pitch, one out. Can't ask for anything better.
Got the lefty hitter up, and he drives this one into left, and the catch is made by Chris Garante.
2 pitches, 2 outs.
So that'll bring up Bobby Parisi, the center fielder. And he takes the pitch low for a ball. Parisi is a junior. So 2 pitches in, both of them low. The Ridge Red Devils are in the Skyland Raritan division with teams like Phillipsburg, Montgomery, Franklin, North Hunterdon. Their win over Franklin puts them at 1-0 in their conference, and there's a strike from Manzi. Ridge plays many of their games against teams like Hunterdon Central, North Hunterdon, Phillipsburg. They do still play as they did last game, as he tips it, and it skips away from Paul Recchia, the catcher. They do still play teams like Mendham as they did last game at Westmore Central, Seton Hall Prep. Home plate umpire comes out, gives Manzi the new ball. Now, setting the defensive alignment for the Rams. In the outfield, they have Chris Garante, Ryan McDermott, and Joe Reed.
McDermott can cover a lot of ground out there in center field. Fast as anybody in the conference. Probably the fastest.
Skies this one foul. McDermott also is, Coach Nahan is Ryan McDermott's football coach. McDermott, a very key component to the Rams' football success this year. Will be continuing his football career at the College of New Jersey. And another foul ball back, and the good battle continues. Continuing defensive alignment for the Rams. At third base, they have Matt Cratcheville, shortstop Mike Ippolito, second base Joe Mancuso, and first base Josh Nathan. Paul Recchia catching for Manzi. And this ball's hit in the air. It's going to bounce in right field. Reed will throw it in, and Parisi wins the battle against Manzi with a base hit.
That was a good battle at the plate. Probably a 6-pitch at bat. Hit it off the inside part. Shallow right field. 1 man on.
So Greg Baza will come up to the plate. He is the team's catcher. He had 3 RBIs against Franklin the other day, and hard pitch comes in. Justin Townsend is designated hitting for the Rams. So they got a couple of your football players on the team in Cratcheville, Townsend. This ball's hit in the air. And it is gone. A 2-run homer for Greg Bazo. Absolute shot to left field.
Left field fence says 310. That ball, what do you think? About 335?
Definitely, probably 340 or so. That was way beyond. A great piece of hitting from Basso. So that'll give the Red Devils the early 2-0 lead. That brings up Jaden Hilton, their first baseman. This is Manzi's first career varsity start. Skies it down the first base line on foul. Takes that one high. As for Randolph, they play in the Northwest Jersey Athletic Conference American Division with teams including Pope John, Roxbury, Mountaindale, Chatham, Del Barton, and Morristown. So their first game here out of division.
Shane, does Ridge usually rank in the top 30 in the state in baseball?
Yeah, they're a good program here, similarly with Randolph. Manzi will check Hilton over at first. We were talking about McDermott earlier. He's a captain on this team along with senior Tyler Berg, who is still out due to injury. Otherwise, he was slated to be the team's starting left fielder. Now, Garante's been playing, and he's been playing well. Evan Patel, another player, the key guy that Randolph has out right now, both seniors, Berg and Patel. Patel typically plays third. As they throw down a second, ball skips away. Hilton goes over.
Well, similar to the Yankees start to the season, a little bit of an injury bug in some key players. Hopefully they come back early.
Yeah,
Still
I think Berg and Patel are slated to come back potentially later this week. That's what I've been hearing.
So about 10-day deep.
Yeah. The injured list now, IL.
That's right. It has been changed to the injured list.
That's in there for a strike. Even it up at 2-2. Randolph Baseball is a new coach this year. Mark Rizzi took over as head coach. Rizzi coached for 18 seasons with NCAA Division III Rutgers Newark Scarlet Raiders. He also coached at Bloomfield College before he gets on with the walk. He has plenty of coaching experience, and now he'll come out for a word with Manzi.
I think Randolph getting Coach Rizzi is a tremendous find for us to have a coach with 15-plus years as the head coach at a college level. Great experience and knowledge to impart on these kids. A real storied program here at Randolph. Look forward to the future.
Definitely. He's going out for a word with Manzi and Recchia right now. Assisting him this season, they have former Rutgers Newark player and Randolph alum Brian Bolino. He graduated from Randolph in 2014, graduated from Rutgers Newark last year in 2018, and he's one of the main assistant coaches, and then in addition to Justin Matthias, who is a history teacher at Randolph. He works with the pitchers a lot. Currently, the Rams do have one player on this team that's currently committed to, as this ball's hit on the ground towards first, Nathan will take it himself, and that will retire the side. Ridge gets 2 runs 2 runs on 2 hits and 2 walks. And that's how top of the first wraps up. Top of the first wraps up, and then the Rams will have their bats coming to the plate momentarily. Back here in Randolph at the bottom of the first inning. Leading off for the Rams will be Ryan McDermott.
Oh, I'd love to see McDermott get on base with his speed. Definitely move around.
McDermott, a lefty hitter for Randolph. He went 1 for 3 in the first game, 2 for 3 in the second. First pitch from Kyle Samolovsky. Samolovsky is the pitcher for Ridge. And McDermott lifts it foul down the third base line. Samolovsky, the righty pitcher. And he takes that pitch for a ball. 1-2. Couldn't tell 100% from our angle, but looked like maybe not the type of pitch you like to take with 2 strikes, but
Yeah, you got to protect.
pitch runs him inside. He swings at the high pitch and gets it down for a base hit.
McDermott protecting with 2 strikes. Nice piece of hitting. Easy on first. Shane, you think he's stealing?
I wouldn't be surprised if they give him the sign. As you said, you know, he's got a lot of speed, and especially with Randolph being down early, you know, against a good team like Ridge, Randolph knows that they're going to have to get in front early. With getting the base hit to start the inning, wouldn't be surprised, especially with the, you know, arguably your fastest guy on first. Rizzi sending the sign from third. Takes a strike.
And the ump seems to be giving us some type of verbal warning to the players.
Hearing a lot of talking from Randolph's dugout.
Some might call that chatter. Or is it chirping?
Well, you know, don't hear 100% everything's being said, but, you know, the umpire's right there. You know, he knows if he hears something he doesn't like, then they'll always go out. And
got to protect the game.
don't let this get out of hand, someone misinterpret, you know, anything. Just keep everything under control. You always use good sportsmanship. And McDermott takes off. Throw down by Bazo. McDermott is safe. So now a runner in scoring position.
Love to see him be aggressive on the base path. I wouldn't be surprised if he steals third next.
So 2-1 the count to Chris Garante, the sophomore left fielder for the Rams. Big righty. Smolovsky takes a look back at McDermott, then throws a pitch. He skies it foul behind us into the solar panels. So 2-2 is the count. Dermott a sizable lead off. Now he swings this one on the ground. McDermott
McDermott's going to score easy. He's
McDermott
standing.
is in.
We were going to have a stand-up
Now
triple.
Garante heading to third, slides in safely.
And that's why you have McDermott lead off. Just wheels on the base path. Scored easy.
So what do you think that is? Maybe a double or a you think it's a triple?
I think they're going to call a double with their center fielder overran that, went through his legs.
So that'll bring up the big bat of Joe Reed. Joe Reed is only a sophomore, but he doesn't play like it. He was playing on varsity last year as a freshman. And personally here, I remember I umpired Little League Baseball and softball in Randolph. I have for years. And I remember when, years ago, I'd be umpiring, and Joe, not even that long ago, Joe would be playing on the Astros, his major league team in Randolph. And he was just a level higher than everyone else. You know, you see him come, you see the way even a foul ball would come off his bat. It's pretty obvious this kid's something special. As he hits this one out of play.
Oh, let's go, boys!
Wow. Wow, I think the wind brought that ball back into play, and the catcher caught it for the out. It was a towering fly ball.
Yeah. Those balls are definitely the worst for an infielder, for a catcher. You know, you see the ball just go up in the air. You don't know where it's going to land. You don't know when it's going to come down. The next thing you know, it's right.
One of the toughest things. I think one of the toughest things in sports is trying to hit a baseball right down the plate.
And especially for the fielder side trying to locate it when you don't know where that thing's going to end up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these guys stand it in the field. Pitcher throws the pitch. In less than a second sometimes, it comes out of the pitcher's hand. The ball's already right back at you. So Mike Ippolito, down 0-1, takes the pitch in for a strike. Ippolito is a junior who's playing shortstop today. He also pitches. Team planning on still using him as a pitcher in relief roles, but also having him in the field and in the lineup consistently. A lot of times pitchers in high school are pitchers only, and that's the case for all of them except for Josh Nathan, who's playing first today. Other than that, Ippolito, another case like Nathan.
Now in high school, do the pitchers hit?
They can. So you can opt to use a DH. In this game, both teams are using one. But, for example, when Josh Nathan pitched on Monday last week against Montville, he hit for himself as well as this ball's hitting the air center field. And making the catch is Parisi.
This is a good throw in by the outfielder. Hold the runner at third.
So 2 outs and Josh Nathan will come up. But as I was saying earlier, Josh Nathan, when he pitched, he did hit for himself as well. However, in this game, Randolph's using Justin Townsend as a DH, and Ridge is using Cooper Babowicz as a DH. So here's Josh Nathan. Nathan lifts it in the air right field, giving him a run, and it is gone.
That was a nice home run to right field. Scooped it.
Josh Nathan takes him deep.
It's a big 2-run home run. The man on third with 2 outs.
A shot off the bat of Randolph Sr. And Randolph jumps right back in front for Manzi. Great piece of hitting from Josh as he goes the other way. And that'll bring on Matt Cratcheville. And I've got to say, Randolph's dugout is alive now. So here's the lefty, Matt Cratcheville. He's playing third. Another all-fellow football player as well.
Matt's a great defensive back. Looking forward to him coming up for his senior season.
He gets a hold of this one, too. Chasing him back once more. And that one goes almost to the same spot as Josh Nathan and Matt Cratcheville go back-to-back to right field. The lefty hitter pulls it. And Randolph scores 4 in the first.
And I think that has a little bit to do with his off-season strength conditioning program. Matt's been extremely dedicated to the weight room. See the lift on that pitch.
So he got a hold of that one and drove it. Fence in right field is also 310. That's going to bring up another football player, Justin Townsend.
I like to see this rally going. The big man is up. Justin Townsend, believe it or not, only a sophomore. Looks like a grown man out there.
Key component of the defense at the linebacker position, in addition to plays as a running back, and fouls this one off.
Another one to the solar panels.
Yeah.
Must lose a lot of baseballs over there each game.
Some movement on the pitch that hits the dirt. Hit on the ground towards third. Throw to first. Got him. So that will retire the side on the 5-3 putout, but the Rams score 4 in the first frame, take a 4-2 lead over the Ridge Red Devils and Manzi, and the defense will come back out for the top of the second inning.
Nice 3 runs scored with 2 outs.
And now they'll so here's Manzi coming out for the top of the second inning. Leading off for the Red Devils is Jason Arrigo. Hits one on the ground. Ippolito gets it, fires it over to first to get the 6-3 putout. So 2 straight innings, and the swings and misses at the fastball from Manzi. So, saying early 2 straight innings, and first batter comes up, 1 pitch, 1 out. Just off the black for a ball. Takes it high. Run the count to 3-1. In the air down the right field line, Reed giving it a run over. He will have room just in foul territory to secure the putout.
Nice range chasing that down and making a good catch right before the foul line.
So that'll bring us back around to Chris Parker, their leadoff hitter. Grounded out to Ippolito in his first at-bat. Runs it inside.
Another one to the solar panels.
How many baseballs are in there right now? I feel like every game we see that. Not just today, but today particularly this early. Skips on the plate.
Really beautiful stadium and field we have here at Randolph. Nice enclosed. Not every high school has the enclosed field too.
Yeah, a lot of times they all temporary fences as this ball's hit in the gap. Reed and McDermott are going to chase it. Rounding second base, heading towards third. Reed fires it in, cut off, and thrown over to third. He held up at second. Chris Parker is in with a stand-up double.
Looks like the girls lacrosse team scored.
Yeah.
You can see the scoreboard from our angle over here down the first baseline.
Skies this one towards center. Garante and McDermott coming over. McDermott will make the catch to retire the side. So, 4 Red Devils come to bat, and 3 of them are retired. And that'll take us to the bottom of the 2nd inning.
Now batting, 8th in the lineup, number 44, our catcher, Paul Recchia.
Recchia is a sophomore, is a twin brother on the team, Eric Recchia, who has seen some playing time. He got the start last game at 3rd base. Crashville moved over to 2nd.
And he gets hit by a pitch. Looks like a curveball that didn't break. Wasn't too fast coming down. He'll take first base.
Saw him sprint down to first, and so Randolph will have a runner on board to begin the frame. And being that he's the catcher, they can use a special pinch runner, so junior Dan Hamilton will come out and do that. High school, the rule is if your catcher's on base, you are allowed to use a pinch runner for him, and he will not get taken out of the game. We've seen both CJ Columbaris and Dan Hamilton do that this year. Here's Joe Mancuso. He's a senior playing 2nd base. Takes a strike. Takes it low.
It's a good eye. One in the dirt.
Nice section of Randolph fans out in left field on the hill.
Looks like a great spot to watch a game.
Far from the action, but still nice over there. And he takes the strike. Run the count to 2-2. Hamilton taking a small lead off at first. Samilowski delivers, hits this one in the air, right center field. Over comes Parisi to make the catch. Fires in a first, and they almost got Hamilton, picked him off. So Samilowski has one retired.
Back to the top with McDermott at bat.
McDermott had a single and then stole second. Came around to score the game's first run in his first trip. Takes a strike.
This Ridge-Randolph rivalry's been building a little bit. We've seen it. This is my
Hockey.
3rd event I've seen Randolph versus Ridge. Actually saw them in wrestling too. Take on Coach Sook's team. Hockey, you and I saw that. And today in baseball.
Yeah, in hockey, it was the New Jersey State Interscholastic Association. Pops this one out to third as Bell comes over to make the catch. That was the Group B championship games. The state championship game at the Prudential Center. Number 1 seeded Randolph Rams took on the 2 seeded Ridge Red Devils, and Ridge came away with the victory. Speaking of Ridge, you might be wondering why their name's the Red Devils. We see them not looking to be wearing any red.
Green and black and white.
Reason why, in 1950, when looks like he'll get on with a to hit him.
Mm-hmm.
So second hit
Again,
by
another
pitch.
breaking ball that didn't get across the plate.
The second hit by pitch of the inning.
That's usually how I got on base back in my playing days.
Anyway, they're the Ridge Red Devils because in 1950, when the school was being built, a company called Red Devil Hardware Incorporation or something donated a lot of money to the school to fund the sports teams and sponsor everything, but there was still one stipulation. They needed to make their logo the Red Devil and their team name the Red Devils. However, being that Ridge High School was being built in Bernards Township in Basking Ridge, they knew they'd be becoming crosstown rivals with Bernards High School, the Mountaineers, who wear red. So they didn't want to both wear red, so they created their own thing with the green and black, but they still had to make their name the Red Devils. Interesting little piece of New Jersey high school sports history right there.
Very interesting. A lot of different mascots, names, and stories behind all of it. Thank you, Shane.
Not entirely sure about the Randolph Rams history and how they became the Randolph Rams, but other teams have interesting story, like the Roxbury Gales, the whole thing about where they got the Gale from, and it's like a Scottish knight or something.
I've heard from Coach Lyon, so definitely a very credible source.
Yeah,
Randolph being the highest point in Morris County, the ram being the animal that lives on the mountain and tallest parts of mountains and hills, therefore the Randolph Rams.
Oh,
Could be folklore, could be true.
you never know. Very interesting point there, Coach, you know. This is coming right down the first base line, but Hilton's over there to make the catch. That will retire the side. Lead it off for the Red Devils. He is the center fielder. He singled in his first at-bat and came around to score on Bozzo's 2-run homer. Back in the first inning. Manzi delivers a ball. Start him off. And he takes the strike right in there. Skips in there for a ball.
Nice play by McDermott. That range, chased it down, caught it. Speed in center field just really makes such a difference.
You know, a lot of ground to cover in center field. Having a guy like McDermott always helps. Bozzo swings through that pitch. He hit a big 2-run bomb to left field in his first at bat. McDermott another play.
Doing with a great read on the ball. Takes that a couple steps back and gets under it. Probably went about 365 on a 370 fence.
So you played baseball in high school, right?
I did, believe it or not.
For Lawrence, right?
Lawrence Cardinals.
Have you ever, in your couple of years here in Randolph, have you ever seen Randolph play Lawrence in any sport?
I haven't seen them play Lawrence. It'd be tough based on the different divisions. Lawrence, I believe, competes in the Colonial Valley Conference down in Mercer County and Burlington County. I believe Lawrence is also a Group 3 school, one group below Randolph. So when it comes to postseason competition, they wouldn't be matched up size-wise. There is potential for a Lawrence-Randolph football scrimmage. You never know in the future.
Because you guys schedule those scrimmages yourself, right?
Correct. So we try to find competitive teams that base the same size competition, but teams that we potentially wouldn't see in the playoffs.
Hilton the board with the walk, and Cooper Bobowicz will come up next. He is DHing today. He walked in his first plate appearance. Over at Bauer Stadium, Randolph Girls Lacrosse has taken a 5-4 lead.
And who are they playing today, Shane?
I believe Sparta.
Always
I think
a
it
big
was
rivalry.
initially supposed to be at Sparta, but as over Manzi not letting him go too far. And he rips this one into right field. Joe Reed is right there to put it out. That'll retire the side. So Ryan Manzi retires three of the four Ridge hitters. Randolph Rams coming to bat, bottom of the third.
Let's do it.
So the guy they call Ippy, Mike Ippolito, will lead it off for Randolph. Flew out to center in his first at-bat. Takes a strike from Samolovsky. Rips this one into left center field. Parisi under it. That'll retire Ippolito. So here's Josh Nathan coming up. He had a big two-run homer to right field in his last at-bat.
Swinging for the fence on that first one.
In addition to the guys that we've seen on the field thus far for Randolph, other players they have on the bench include catcher Nick Arcaro, CJ Columbaris, we've seen Dan Hamilton, we've seen Patel Berg being injured to start the season, and Eric Recchi on the infield. Josh Nathan is 3 for 8 on the year with his two-run homer earlier. And he rips this one in the air. That's going to drop in front of Parisi. Nathan 2 for 2.
It's a nice job by Nathan, making contact, getting on base again.
So Matt Cratchville, who went back-to-back with Nathan in the first inning.
Outfield does start to take some steps back. The lefty batter.
Randolph redid this field a couple of years ago as this ball is hit foul. I don't know if you were here yet, but I don't remember when exactly it was, but originally this field was the fence was not fully enclosed. It was actually the fence went to like left center field, and then for when the baseball team would be playing a lot, they would put a temporary fence in. The softball field was practically non-existent. You could see maybe there was like some dirt over there as this is hit on the left field line. Was that foul? That was fair ball as it drops in front of Lucas Goodman, and Cratcheville is aboard with the base hit.
Kratch 2 for 2 again with big Justin Townsend up at bat.
Anyway, the softball team didn't play their games right over there where they play them. Now they played them at Brundage Park.
Really? I wasn't unaware of that. I believe this used to be a practice field for football.
Yeah, it was. They had... Because basically, beyond this field, which this fence was only here, the fence that's currently there was basically from the left field foul pole all the way to maybe where left center field is, and that's all it was. The rest of it, outside of baseball season, wasn't even there. So they had a practice football field kind of where the softball field is now, as this ball's hit on the ground to third. Gonna go to first with it. Hilton the stretch. He was out. Runners move over. So here's Paul Recchia. I think the freshman football team used to practice over there in the fall.
Yeah, freshmen will often go up there, still practice.
A lot less space than before. They actually had a whole field drawn out because kind of like right field of the baseball field, because the fence wouldn't be there. You know, it'd be the fall, baseball wouldn't be going on. So it'd be from there all the way down.
Yeah, I think you had a 400. Now you have about 50 yards, which is still nice. Able to accomplish a lot. It's a good eye by the catcher.
In addition, over there now, still with track, shot put and it's not javelin. Javelin's over on the other side, but shot put and discus still go on over there.
A lot of landscape.
Plenty of great facilities here in Randolph.
Very fortunate.
So I was starting to say earlier with Lawrence, how big would that be for you if Randolph did play Lawrence in game? You know, how close to home would that come to you?
Oh, it'd be very close to home, especially with my former head coach, still the head coach of the Lawrence Cardinals. Well, what do we have going on here? Looks like the ball bounced first, or it might have foul tipped. He thought he got hit by the pitch.
That's in there for a strike.
Looks like we have a full count, 2 outs, 2 guys on. What are you doing in this situation, Shane?
I'd say if I'm the pitcher,
yeah,
I would say, oh, here we go. I took too long. Hit in the air to center. Parisi moves over to his left to make the catch and retire the side. Rams get a couple on base but can't score. Still lead 4-2 through 3. Did you know that?
I heard it.
So he takes a strike. This is Jack Love coming to the plate.
Top of the 4th, 4-2 Rams.
Randolph Baseball in 2010 won the Group 4 championship.
2010 was a big year for Randolph.
Yeah, with the football team also.
Coach Lasardi. Randolph Baseball's been in the championship game, I believe, or close to it, the past a couple years.
Yeah.
Baseball.
Yeah, last year they actually had a somewhat unexpected run as they took down the 1 seed I think they were the 9 seed. They played 8 seed in Memorial, something like that in the first round. They took down Livingston, who was the 1 seed. No one saw that coming. I think and they ended up falling in the final. Last year, Randolph Baseball had two key pitchers who would do most of the pitching for them, being Josh Nathan, and he graduated, Chris Deutsch. Both were excellent pitchers for Randolph last year. This year now, Cleveland kind of stepping into that role, and we see with Manzi as well. Then in the bullpen, the Randolph Rams have Owen Anton, Ippolito, who's at shortstop. This ball's hit in the air, right field, chasing Reed back. It bounces off the top part of the fence. Rounding first, heading towards second. He'll slide in safely. Jack Love with a double.
It's a great throw by Reed, all the way from deep right field to second base. The runner didn't even think about taking third.
Yeah, especially as he came rounding first hard, and the ball just bounced off the fence. So great play by Reed.
That ball's about 2 feet higher. It's out. Very fortunate for it to hit the fence.
The head coach of Randolph at the time in 2010 was Oscar Zavala. He was a guidance counselor at the high school. His son is Ryan Zavala, is a history teacher at the high school now. Zavala also owns In the Zone. You might have heard of In the Zone, the baseball academy, travel baseball teams. They have a what do you call it? Like a facility, indoor.
Cage.
Yeah, like batting cage, an indoor baseball facility.
Nice.
I believe it's in Whippany. Travel team used to be the In the Zone Angels. I don't know if they. I think they might have phased out the Angels name a bit, but In the Zone definitely travel team that plenty of these players on Randolph have played for before. Zavala retired, and then for 4 years, I'm not sure if there was anyone between, but Doug Anderson coached the team. Then he stepped down before this season, and Rizzi took over. This ball hit in a left field, and it gets by Garante. Love's going to come in to score as Arrigo's going to head toward third. The throw! He came close. It was a great throw in.
By Ryan McDermott. Ryan McDermott ran all the way from center field to back that up, gunned it in, and they did have a chance at third base. The runner just getting under the tag.
We were talking about McDermott's speed earlier, but it's coming into play in so many different ways. I think he might be the kind of guy you might be able to say on this Randolph team is a 5-tool player.
Absolutely. Wait, did we change pitcher? Oh, no, just Coach Rizzi came on.
Yeah. Lucas Goodman comes up.
This is one of those tough situations. You have a runner on third base and no outs. Hard not to focus on that guy on third, but the key right now is just the batter.
Yep.
2 strikes against. We could use it. You could use a strikeout here. It's the 9-hitter Lucas Goodman at the plate. He flew out to Reed in his first at bat. And he strikes out here, so a big first out for Manzi.
That was huge, especially with the guy on third. Just focus on that one batter.
So roll back around to the top of the order. Chris Parker coming up. He's 1 for 2 today with a double and a ground out to Ippolito. Swings and misses.
And Manzi steps off the mound.
Got 2 strikes on him again. Takes it low, 2-2. And he rings him up.
That is
Strike
huge.
3 on the inside corner.
Back-to-back strikeouts. Again, I'll say it. 2 outs now. Man on third. Just focus on this one batter.
I believe that's the first backwards K we've seen in this game from Randolph or Ridge.
Starting this one off with a strike.
Starting to talk about Randolph's bullpen earlier with some of their other pitchers that they have on this team. Not just bullpen, but other pitchers they have. Obviously, Nathan and Clavin, who have also started games. Then Owen Anton, who's committed to continue his baseball career with the Division II Concordia Clippers. Then Ippolito, Dylan Jenish, Jake Hart, Justin Townsend, Ryan Zott, and Rob Moran. 1-2. So Brendan Bell, currently 0-2 with a line out and a fly out. Hits it on the ground, back to Manzi. Manzi's gonna chase it, flips to Nathan. He got him. Runner
he
at
pumps
third.
the chest and he gets 3 straight outs after having a guy on third with no outs.
And
Whatever
the
Coach
Rams
Rizzi
are
said
pumped.
definitely worked.
So the Rams keep the lead. So Randolph coming to bat. Mancuso will lead it off, takes the pitch low. 4-3 ball game. Randolph is leading. Samolovsky. Actually, is that still him or is this Ridge of a new pitcher out? This guy looks like a lefty. That's number 15. Owen Walker. He's a junior. Takes over pitching, so Samolovsky goes 3.
Gets him with the foul tip. Catcher catches it and holds on.
So Samolovsky goes 3 innings, gives up 4 runs. His day's done as the left-hander Walker comes in. This Ridge team only has 4 seniors on them, contrary to Randolph, who has 9.
camera too.
Thought there for a second that the camera was gonna get taken out.
Those are always scary. It's like you don't know where it's gonna come. It's like you know it's up there. You don't know if it's right by you. You don't know if it's behind you. I mean,
Powering foul ball.
those are really hard. We were talking about earlier for the fielders who are responsible for catching it or not. Sometimes tough to tell where you should even be. You just know it's somewhere, and then you factor in these 4 o'clock games when not really today, but other times when the sun plays a part in it. Like there are times, especially you could talk to first baseman, and I don't know from this field. Yeah, I mean where the sun is, it probably would be an issue, but sometimes you're on first base, you can't see the middle infield.
It's almost like a judgment call sometimes. It is tough.
Sometimes with the sun glare added all that, you as a first baseman, the third baseman out fielding, you just had to hope you're in the right spot, like. McDermott takes it low.
McDermott with the 3-1 count.
So McDermott's aboard with a walk.
Field stolen base coming up.
Second time on base in this ball game. He had a single to lead off bottom of the first. The lefty pitcher will be watching him. And this ball's ripped in a left field. And Chris Garante is aboard with another base hit.
Just the way the ball sounded coming off the bat, you knew it was going to be a nice hit. Solid contact.
That's Garante's third time on base today, his second hit, making him 5 for 10 on the year. So a great beginning of the season for the sophomore, Chris Garante.
Wow, sophomore.
Mike Ippolito and Nick Arcaro just got back from the bullpen, so maybe we'll be seeing Ippolito coming next. Joe Reed is yet to reach base today. Takes a strike. This ball's going to be hit towards center field. Making the catch is Parisi. Runner is returned.
Good contact.
And here's Ippolito.
2 outs, 2 guys on.
Hits this one back into the solar panels.
What do you know? To the solar panels.
And he's going to try and pick him off, but the throw sails above the second baseman's head.
Go home.
And diving in at third goes McDermott. Garante will stay put at first.
McDermott's speed getting into their heads. You see the big overthrow into center field.
So the throwing error on the catcher advances McDermott to third. Runners at the corners with 2 out. On the ground to first. Hilton takes it himself. Red Devils will retire the side. So Randolph gets a couple on base, but failed to score. Still 4-3, heading to the 5th.
Nice play by the first baseman.
So we're talking about Randolph's Little League program earlier and how, good of a program it is. It has started to get a bit smaller over the years, but something pretty cool they have. They have the a home run derby every year for the 12-year-olds because, when you're 12, it's your last year
Of Little League.
in Little League, and then you move on to the Babe Ruth level. So Mike Ippolito comes in a pitch, so Mandy's day is done. Mandy goes 3, and now Ippy will come in.
Means go 4.
Oh, yeah, 4. My bad. Sorry, man. They're in the 5th now. So he goes 4 innings. He gives up 3 runs. I'd say he pitched great.
Yeah, I thought he did an excellent job, especially getting out of that jam with a guy on third.
Runner on
no
third,
outs.
yeah. I think that was the plan originally. I think they wanted to have Manzi go 3 or 4 innings. I think Ippolito was slated to come in next, so everything seemed to be going according to was planned. Takes a strike.
A lot of the runs in this game have been on situations with 2 outs.
Yeah.
But Shane, as you're saying with that home run derby,
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, first what they have, so the big catch, the reason why the entire town of Randolph's always there on that Friday afternoon in May or June, late May, early June, the reason why the entire town shows up is because they have free Fuddruckers there for everyone that goes.
you got me sold.
I believe it started because someone who owns, I think, or some with the Fuddruckers in Succasunna, the sponsor of the event is this ball's hit into center field, and McDermott has to leap to make the catch. Is that,
Hey, Bob, walk head hunting.
So they have free Fuddruckers, free burgers, free hot dogs for everyone that shows up, and they have, a lot of people from Fuddruckers there, big grills.
you can eat?
Yeah, you just show up and you just, you get, and there's
Unbelievable.
good baseball going on. It's awesome. It's a great night every year. Seen a couple hit batsmen in this game. Anyway, they have, and they'll use a special pinch runner, as that was Basil, the catcher. So Hilton, or not Hilton's at the plate. Pinch running is Chris Stapleton, the junior. But what they have is that the 12-year-olds get to play in like all-star game type things. So whoever all the 12-year-olds are eligible for it. They put them in a game. Usually they'll have 2 games going on, one on the softball field, one on the baseball field. Being a huge team of guys, play for an hour or 2, and then they have a home run derby. So every kid, so usually there are, or at least when I played, now it's smaller, but there used to be 80 to 100 kids of all the 12-year-olds, so 6th and 7th graders. And everyone hits. They go around one time. Obviously, every kid's not going to put a homer out, but with the bats that, Little League has now,
Well, these
a lot
days,
more.
you hit the ding right off.
Plus on the 200-foot fence either way with those bats sometimes. Anyway, but if you don't even have to hit a homer. There are different, cones put down as this ball's hit down the second base line. It's going to fall in front of Mancuso, and onto first base goes Hilton. But what they have for the 12-year-olds, they all get to hit, and then you have to accumulate a certain number of points. So it's not like the real home run derby where it's home run or nothing. You
Okay.
get a certain number of points for a homer, but you hit it to certain zones, it'll be this many points. So you get 5 or 6 balls, whatever. They have the machine usually, or a couple of the coaches will pitch. And overall, it's a great night for everyone. And then after everyone hits, the people with the top scores move on. They have different rounds, and then ultimately a winner.
Sounds
And
very
the-
similar to the All-Star weekend
Yeah,
that we have in the Major Leagues.
Yep.
That's awesome.
except it's all on one night.
Let's turn 2.
And did he get him at first? He did not. Good hustle from Bobowicz. beats him. So he'll get on with the fielder's choice.
So we got 2 outs, runners on first and third, lefty up.
It's Jack Love, the right fielder. Had a big double in his last at-bat. But it's always a great night for the whole Randolph Little League program. You know, everyone in the town usually knows what's going on. You get to showcase the 12-year-olds who have spent years in majors. Here's ball's hit in a right field. Reed chasing it down. It's going to fall fair. And another big hit for Love. The run scores to tie the game, and he is in his second with a stand-up double.
And hold it just a 1 run, tie the game up at 4. That ball is hit exactly just far enough for the right fielder not to be able to get that. Great relay to hold that runner at third.
And he takes a strike. This ball's hit in the air.
Foul.
Down the left field line and foul. That last ball that was hit by Love seemed to come so close to being fair or foul. Saw it go all the way down the line and
About 4 feet left of the foul pole if you're looking at it.
nonetheless a great piece of hitting from Jack Love. This ball hit in the air down the right field line. Reed giving it a run. Will he have room? It looks like he did.
And nice catch to end the inning and keep this game at a 4-4 tie. Batters.
Josh Nathan. Is it good? Is it? So Josh Nathan will lead it off against Jack Love, who is coming to pitch for the Red Devils. So Owen Walker goes 1 inning. Jack Love was in right field. I'm not sure who went out to replace him. This ball hit by Nathan. Falls in for a base hit.
Nathan 3 for 3 today?
He is. 2-run homer and 2 singles. Makes him 5 for 10 on the year. Crashwell shows bunt and he does lay it down, but it goes foul. Interesting decision there to have Crashwell bunt. Try and get Nathan over to second with 1 out. Or it could be potentially to try and have Cratch legitimately reach first himself with his speed.
True.
If he can lay a good bunt down, you know, we can easily see him on first base.
Let me see Coach Rizzi call time.
Gain gonna try and go with the 4-6-3. They get Nathan at second, but can't follow up at first. So Eric Recchia is coming up for Randolph. He is pinch hitting for the designated hitter Justin Townsend.
Ooh, an ump threw that thing right in the toe. That doesn't feel good.
That's always the worst. You know, not only do you have the pressure of, you know, trying to call balls strikes, then you're taking a beating also back there. So after Townsend grounded short in his first 2 at-bats, Eric Recchia comes into the game. He hits this one. Foul. The talking about Little League earlier, on that note, the Reckias were actually on my majors team, the Athletics, the A's.
Oh, the Oakland A's.
Yeah. They were in 5th grade when I was in 7th grade. We were a very good team that year. We went 11-1 in the regular season. Then
Not
we
the postseason.
came up, well, we made it to the semifinals, and we played a 9-inning game. You know, normally Little League 6 innings.
Wow.
We played a 9-inning battle before eventually falling. Real tough loss, but if you're gonna lose, that's, you know,
Of course.
battle that hard. Not only that, but it wasn't the kind of thing where it's just tied. No one's playing. You know, they would score. We were the home team, so like they would score. We'd come back and score.
Oh, one of those ups and
Yeah.
downs, that big rally.
Yep.
Those are great in baseball.
I remember it was a Freedom Park. I remember it filled up for that game too. That's gonna get down the right field line.
I want to see Kratz go around.
Cratchville's gonna stop at 3rd as Recchia slides into 2nd with a double. Rams will have 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. So now his brother Paul Recchia will come up with 2 in scoring position and 1 out.
Big hit with 2 strikes.
A great piece of hitting. That's always the best thing you can do. If you can have a player come off the bench cold and be able to deliver a big hit like that, that's the idea of what you want a pinch hitter to be able to do and what Eric Recchia was able to do.